Welcome to Two and a Half Beards. Today I want to talk a little bit more about, you guessed it, procrastination. I thought I was done, but it just keeps being relevant. I've already talked a little bit about what I have done in my life and some basic principles. We talked about Neil Fiore's book, which I now have and is very good. I'm reading through it. And I want to talk about a little bit of different thing. This is a strategy that's taken in part from the 4-Hour Work Week, a very famous book on efficiency and that sort of thing in the workplace, but also with principles that you can apply to your own life. And the regimen that I'm currently following for my time is that I work backwards in terms of how much I want to work, what I want to spend that time on, and then I basically just figure out how to juggle all of my responsibilities to cram into that amount of time. So I don't have this written down, but here's what my regimen is. Every weekday, between 9 and 4, I'm working. I have an hour for lunch because, I have to eat lunch. So I'm working 6 hours a day, 30 hours a week. And what I decided was, using this regimen, I blocked my time into percentages. So I want to spend, and I am spending, 50% of my time on creative work, 25% of it on teaching, 15% on study, practicing music, reading books, learning new things, etc., but not actively making things, just studying, and 10% on everything else. 10% on everything else. Cleaning, chores, emails, processing, mailing stuff, filling in spreadsheets, going to the store, all of that other stuff is crammed into 10%. When I first read this in the article that I've posted down below, I thought it was insane because there's no way that you can get all that stuff done in 10% of your time. Well, now that I'm doing it, it is maybe still insane, but it's actually pretty cool. The basic theory behind it is this. We do so much stuff that we really don't need to be doing. We waste a lot of energy doing tasks that don't benefit us as much as other tasks that are more aligned with our goals. So this system is very much designed to work with your goals, right? I decided I'm doing this much creative work every day. I'm doing this much study every day. I'm doing this much teaching every day. Those three things are extremely important to me. And everything else, not so important. So despite the fact that you don't have as much time to do things, what I'm finding particularly is that because I only give myself 40 minutes a day to do all the other tasks, I'm ruthlessly prioritizing. This is something that I've heard over and over again in all of my readings on procrastination and efficiency, and I'm finally applying it. Ruthlessly prioritize. So when you have this schedule, you find that maybe you don't need to vacuum your apartment every week. Maybe it's not necessary to organize your closet. Maybe you don't need to do the dishes every other day. Maybe it's okay for things to be a little bit messy, or be a little bit dirty, or be a little bit confusing, or be not exactly the way that you want them. A large part of it for me has been training myself to be okay with disorder. And the other side of that is realizing how not okay I was with disorder before I started this. But what I mean by that is, for example, if my kitchen was dirty, I couldn't go to sleep until it was clean, because if I went to sleep, I would keep thinking about it. It's as if whenever I walked into the kitchen or looked at it, I could feel its dirty energy shooting out and messing me up. Now, that's not really true. That's not really how it works. It's entirely my perception of the dirty kitchen that's causing me to have all these symptoms of confusion and anxiety and all these things. And I never really, I always knew that it was kind of like that, but I didn't know the degree until I started this, and I never really knew how to free myself from that until I started this regimen. And basically, what it comes down to now is I'm done. When I reach my 40-minute mark, I'm done doing those things, and I'm allowing myself to think of other things. That's a very large part of this, is that you train yourself to be okay with not doing everything all at once. Because you've said, I'm going to spend this much time here, this much time here, this much time here, this much time here, that's basically when you end, is when that time is up. And the thing that's cool about it, which I'll talk about next week because we're out of time, is that you start to, although you cannot do as many things, the quality becomes much, much better. Focus becomes much better. You can pay more attention to things. And it's really just about having this continually cycling lifestyle where it's okay to not it's not based on progress. It's okay to not get to a certain benchmark of progress, but simply it's okay to just fit the schedule and move on to the next day. All right, I'll see you next week.